What's up, guys? Next up on our DOTM Transformers figure review is the Deluxe Mudflap figure. Very similar to Skids, but a little better in my opinion. I'll point out why as we go through this. First of all, his paint app's decent. He's got some orange paint on the car. Unfortunately, the headlights are just painted silver. They could have used some clear plastic or something. That would have been nice. Not terrible, though. We've got the silver Chevy logo on his chest there. That looks nice. The head's got a couple spots of paint. Blue eyes. Arms have paint detail on them. Is enough to make the character look pretty good. Could have used a little more paint, as most of them could. Supposed to be a gun, and then it turns into a battle axe, which I guess is kind of cool. The design is pretty nice, I guess, but it's just kind of cheesy also. And then the yellow paint on it doesn't match anything else, so it looks a little awkward. And who would really hold in a forearm, I should say? I'm sorry, just this forearm, and then either hand. He holds it in either hand, no problem. A little bit more articulated, he's got more joints in there. His body is a little bit more proportional compared to Skids. He's not just giant feet and then a giant torso with giant arms. He fits his character a little better, I think. Looks pretty good. He's got a gigantic backpack, though. Basically, then he's got the doors of the car that just kind of fold up. Similar to Bumblebee's, but they're just kind of ugly and in the way. Not terrible, but they are there. He's got good articulation in the shoulders. They move up and down on both sides. There's a pivot in the shoulder and in the bicep. Double jointed bicep. And no articulation in the hand, unfortunately. Same thing on this side, same exact setup. Hips, fully articulated ball joint. He's got double jointed knees. Only you're probably going to use just the one joint there. And then his feet do move a little bit, but you're probably not going to move that much. No waist articulation. One problem with this figure, this torso, it snaps in. I don't know if you can see the little peg in there. It's supposed to snap in, and it popped out again. It doesn't stay in all that well, but it's not bad. I'll give you a little height measurement for him. About 4 inches, right around, but it's still a pretty good figure. Definitely better than Skids. If I was going to rate this guy, I'm going to give him... I'll give him a 7 out of 10. He's not too bad, so you might want to pick him up. Let me go ahead and get him transformed, and I'll give you a rating on his car mode. Okay, I have Mudflap transformed now. He's in his vehicle mode. Very similar to Skid's vehicle mode. Major problem here is a lot of the body panels don't like to stay in place. Since these two are connected with a hinge, when you try to snap them in, they always end up buckling just a little bit. You can see right here, it's not quite in place, and really, as much as I push and try to get it to go, it's not great. They kind of bow out on both of them, so it's not awesome. The windows are all tinted black, so that looks kind of good. Like I said before, there's no clear plastic on the headlights, it's just painted silver, so that's kind of a downfall. There's no detail in the wheels, paint-wise, at all. They didn't paint the Chevy logo in the back. He doesn't have a license plate front or back. They didn't paint the exhaust. The only thing they really got is the taillights, which isn't very well done, and the reverse lights. Even the stripes on this figure, and a little spillover on the paint, so it's not a very impressive figure. He's got the same ports on the top as Skids. You can go ahead and stick that in there. It's got the little spring-loaded cap, but it's not painted, so you might as well not have the cap. You can put that on there, but it just looks dumb in my opinion. So not a good implementation of the MechTech. Not a real great version of this car. If you're collecting the line, or at least all the Autobots or something like that, you're not going to mind having him. But if you aren't trying to complete some sort of collection, it's an easy pass also. He and Laserbeak are both kind of and in the meantime, keep collecting.